Yeah, it's super specific.
When it needs to, oh God.
You ready? Okay. So, when you have HTTP, you'll have a server, and you have multiple clients who all want to get something from the server. This puts a huge amount of load on the server and is not using any upload capacity of any of the clients. When you use BitTorrent, you have a tracker, and you have what's called a seed, and then you have clients. Now what happens is that the clients go to the tracker, and then they find each other. And so you wind up with these bidirectional connections like this. So the clients then connect to each other and upload to each other. BitTorrent, which is my technology, is capable of utilizing the upload capacity of clients which are out there. You got that? I'm standing here in the offices of my company, BitTorrent Inc. The company employs over 150 people. I am the founder, but I am not the CEO of the company. I work within this one little cubicle area with my particular team. I actually do this for exercise. I'm from Manhattan, grew up in a working class household. My dad got a Timex Sinclair when I was 5 years old, and he showed me how to program in it using Timex Sinclair Basic. And my ability to read and program were always kind of on the same level. I was about equally skilled at both as I got better at them.
Wait, you were learning how to program while you were learning to read?
Yeah. My t-shirt says telephone, radio, internet, and BitTorrent. Point of this is these are all means to deliver things, and BitTorrent is a newer one. This is very consistent with what we do and how we view ourselves as really providers of fundamental new technology.
I think that most of us who are of a certain age, we think of things in internet terms like before Napster and after Napster.
Yeah, I think I first became aware of BitTorrent around 2003, 2004. This was a few years after Napster. BitTorrent sort of took things to another level, but of course, people saw the potential to share large video files, and sort of a piracy sub-industry emerged from that.
Pirated movies are being downloaded very quickly using some gee-whiz computer technology called BitTorrent.
There's definitely a misconception about BitTorrent being used as a piracy tool, and people kind of think BitTorrent is a piracy tool, when in fact it's not at all. If you're trying to steal a movie on the internet, you're probably going to go to a website to do that, like somewhere like the Pirate Bay. But BitTorrent itself as a technology has absolutely nothing to do with internet piracy.
BitTorrent is not a service that's run here out of BitTorrent Inc. It refers to a broader ecosystem. Most of the time when something is made available and somebody downloads it, it's someone outside of this company. I generally tell people that copyright infringement is a bad idea. You put yourself at legal risk, and you probably shouldn't do that.
The programs are perfectly legal, but every day we're told up to 50 million people around the world are using programs like this to illegally download pirated movies.
We've been in active discussions with the MPA and RA since 2005. They are happy to work with us, and people assume that we're constantly being sued or something, and that's not true. We're technology providers, and we've never gotten sued by any major studios.
It's a really interesting technology, and it's done a whole lot for helping, especially as the internet has exploded, letting people get data all over the place.
If you look at the BitTorrent protocol today, it's a backbone of the internet.
Major deployments at big enterprises use BitTorrent all the time. For example, both Facebook and Twitter, when they update their software internally, they use BitTorrent to push the new version to all their servers.
We're working with all of the major labels, we're working with major studios, we're working with independent creators, artists, authors.
What is really interesting about Bram, and what I really give him a lot of credit for, is that he's able to turn BitTorrent as a company into a very real company and a legitimate company where they work with musicians and filmmakers and artists and try to use the technology that makes distribution easier in a way for people to legally obtain different types of content.
And we're working not just on BitTorrent as it is today, but on live video broadcasts is what I've been working on for the last couple of years, the same way television works and what's used for sports events and things like that, and other kinds of more enhanced experiences. The inevitable trends in content distribution are very simple and have been very obvious for a very long time, which is everything is moving to the internet. You're probably watching me on the internet right now, so hello you over the internet, and if you're watching this on cable, I'm sorry, you must be stuck in the 21st century.
What's interesting about Bram is that you've seen a lot of political figures happen within the BitTorrent community, most notably the founders of the Pirate Bay, and there have been a lot of legal lawsuits against various trackers and various people involved. But Bram is not a political guy, and he's never really exerted political influence.
I think of myself as a technologist. People want or expect me to be some kind of copyright crusader, and that's really outside of my interests, truth be known. It's not something that I consider myself a scholar of or one of my core interests. My fascination was with how to get data